Investing in real estate has been ancient, old, and archaic up until now. There's not been room for a whole lot of innovation or a whole lot of technology or software or artificial intelligence. But the world changed on November 30th when ChatGPT went live, along with 600 other AIs that are brand new. And that is dramatically changing the game of real estate. And since I've done over $2 billion worth, today I'm going to share with you how I'm using this new technology to make real estate even easier. While there are a lot of different types of artificial intelligence, today I want to talk specifically about ChatGPT and others that are very similar. And let's just start with the basics. What is it? ChatGPT is a chatbot by OpenAI launched to the general public on November 30th, 2022 as a powerful language processing model that can generate human-like text. Some of its most common uses so far include drafting essays, giving recipes, writing poetry, but its truest potential is so much bigger than that. And I want you to think about it this way. When the internet came out, there was a lot of skeptical people who are like, what is this? And it was basically going to become an encyclopedia on steroids. You can basically ask it informational questions and it's going to give you informational responses. Artificial intelligence is not about revealing information like the internet. It is like Internet 2.0, like the next big invention since the internet. And what it does is it interacts with you and it tells you not what things are, but how to do things. And I'm going to tell you right now, how is infinitely more important than what, because we're out of the information age. All of the information that you'd ever want to know, it's discovered, it's known, it's Googleable, right? But now the big question remains, how? How do you do these things? How do you accomplish this thing in real estate? Not just what is a contract, but give me a contract or write me a contract with these specific terms. Or not just, hey, what is a good deal, but how do you find me a really good deal? Can you get that this literally changes everything? Now, I am going to share with you 5 of the most practical uses of AI as it pertains to real estate investing. But before I do that, I really want to make sure you capture what's happened. This is the largest innovation that has taken place in 2 decades. It's one of the most important because there are so many entrepreneurs, which is what a real estate investor is, who struggle. And it's one thing to learn terms and understand what things are, but people always get stopped in the how. And so it's like, well, how do you do this? How do you take those next steps? I wish I had someone at my side that would detail it out. And this just isn't about real estate. It's about everything on the planet. Like, let's just say that your relationship is getting boring. Go to ChatGPT and ask a very specific prompt about things that you like to do and say, give me 10 date night ideas. And it's like, boom, I got some instant spice. Or maybe you're struggling with a teenager and you're looking for great ideas on things that you can do to remedy, a new addiction habit or something else that's going on or language problems in the house. Well, all of a sudden, if you start asking it how protocol, it's amazing. Not only that, you can say, hey, I'm Christian and I really like this book and that book. How would that author suggest I do something? And it can do that. I've also fed it one of my 5 books and said, hey, here's 9 different principles of creation. What would the 10th one be? Artificial intelligence is intelligent right now, currently at a college level and rapidly growing. And there's definitely some people out there that are afraid. They're afraid of this technology. They're definitely thinking of like Skynet from Terminator, and this is the end of the world. And what if artificial intelligence goes from machine learning to developing its own conscience of what it thinks is best for human beings? But where I stand with artificial intelligence is that there will always be new innovation. When the internet came out, people said, man, that thing is going to be really bad. And you take a look at this the incredible level of immorality that has come through it. And there will always be a shadow and a counterfeit and something bad with something new that comes out. But there'll also always be good. The thing itself, however, is not bad. It's the way you choose to use it. And my company, me personally, I am completely embracing artificial intelligence. I feel like I just hired 10,000 professor level smart people to literally help me in my marketing department, in my content creation department, in so many areas. In fact, the next 50 people I was meant to hire will no longer be hired. Maybe 10 people will, because what I'm now doing is I'm looking for people inside my organization that will augment what they do with artificial intelligence to create more value. And it will lead to an economy, at least in my personal world, where I pay people even more money because they're now capable of producing even more results. With artificial intelligence, you're only limited by your own personal creativity. So let me share with you today what that creativity looks like in the game of real estate investing, because it may make the difference of you becoming a wantrepreneur and becoming an actually successful real estate entrepreneur. So the first benefit that I'm going to talk about in the game of real estate has to do with listing a property. As in, I own a property, I want to sell a property, and normally I would just rely on the expertise of an agent. But I want you to think that artificial intelligence has college level aptitude in every field of science on the planet, every field of art on the planet. It's smart at everything. It has access to going back and looking at the most successful listings on the planet. So its first use would be in writing something, as in, write me for my house of this square feet, etc., that has all these amenities, the best description, the sexiest description, the most appealing and appetizing, the most seductive, listing possible. Well, all of a sudden, someone that reads your listing, it's almost like you hired one of the top agents on the planet and said, hey, represent my property. And that starts with pictures and language. Show me the language I should use. It's amazing because there are so many really great houses, and often the best deals never get looked at or get attention because someone's DIYing it. They're doing it themselves and they don't understand. There are different critical junction points that if you're going to post something, for example, on the multiple listing service, the MLS, and you want to aggregate everybody's attention, you need to represent that with language that is incredibly appealing. Well, now you've got the top minds, basically AI from all over the planets of experience, writing your listings. So number two, I want to talk about how AI in the game of real estate can help you with other communication. We live in a world where a lot of people respond through emails, people respond through text. And what's great about that tech is that you have time to formulate a response. The question is, are you really giving the best response? So I'm here in Tucson, Arizona at the Gem Show. And yesterday I spent about $100,000 on different crystals and rocks. And I brought a communication broker with me. Literally someone, his name's Braden, he represents me. He's frugal as you can get, and he's an expert negotiator. So my wife and I walk around, we identify something we like, and then we discover the price. And if we're interested, I basically tell him this is your max approval and it's up to you. And then 10 minutes later or an hour later, he'll come back and say, here's what I was able to negotiate. And on one deal, he saved me $4,000. On another one, he saved me $14,000. Yesterday, he saved me over $20,000 as a whole. Well, the reason why he was able to do that is because I leaned into an expert's advice and I had representation. With AI, you have that now as well. Imagine taking someone's question about the price on the property and trying to lowball it and putting it into AI and saying, hey, how should I respond to this if I'm trying to achieve this price? And it will lean on the best information out there in the world and negotiation tactic and skills and give you responses. All of a sudden, you could take someone's really lengthy email with all of these questions, pop it in and ask ChatGPT to give you a response. And I'm not saying it'll give you something to hit send on, but it will give you a draft with all sorts of thoughts and ideas that aren't your own. I always tell people the reason why we need mentors in life is to get a successful person's perspective. And artificial intelligence does that. So anytime you're evaluating, okay, I'm in a strategic negotiation, and if time is money, well, I'll tell you, communication is money, response is money. If you want to make sure that your responses are spot on, you want to check it through that, and it's not going to slow you down. It will do the opposite. It will speed you up, not 10 times or 100 times. It can give responses in seconds. So now your time isn't spent creating drafts. Your time is spent reviewing communication and strategizing. Wow, those were some amazing ideas. That will definitely be the best response, way better than I could have come up with. That's going to create acceleration and, in the game of real estate, investing and negotiating, better outcomes. Negotiating Crystals and real estate, frankly, aren't that different from each other. They're both products. And so my wife really loved this one piece that was about to go to the Smithsonian. It was an Australian opal. This man had pulled it out of the ground from his own mine himself, spent a year polishing it, and he wanted $65,000 for the piece. And I didn't want to pay $65,000. I mean, this is a once in a lifetime incredible, I don't know how many carats are in there, but as we sat down, I noticed that his style of negotiation was interesting. He kicked everyone out of the room. He wanted to talk to me one-on-one. And then I was like, oh, he's going to present some numbers and he doesn't want everyone to hear the discount. Nope, he spent the next 8 minutes, this 78-year-old man, thank you, Rod, walking me through why he doesn't think he should give me a discount. He was using rhetoric, he was using language to communicate value, how he pulled this out. And by the time he was done telling his story, I was like, wow, I don't think I want a discount anymore because this guy has such a compelling emotional story. Well, it's interesting that there's good deals out there for everyone, but only some people are going to get them. And the people that do are usually those that have an advantage of communication. How do you get someone to buy your story? How do you persuade them to listen to your reasons? In the game of real estate, this is really big. Even if you have one agent talking to another agent, or I'm talking to a homeowner selling a property, and often there's time in between responses. And I'm telling you, artificial intelligence can give you some of the most successful approaches that have a way higher likelihood of working than maybe some of your own ideas. You use this tool for the next year in the game of real estate, and you will simply become more knowledgeable and better at the game. So I'm out here literally in the wild, trying not to get bitten by a shark or a crocodile. No, I'm just a big dork outside the hotel waiting for the sun to rise, and thought to myself, I'm so excited about this AI stuff, it keeps me up at night with excitement, that I would talk to you about the third major use that you can use on it in the game of real estate, which is calculating returns. Like, how do I know if I'm going to make money on this property, or how much will I, or can you calculate now that I've negotiated what my exact ROI is going to be? Check it out. One of the most useful parts of ChatGPT is its ability to perform and explain technical tasks. Even for those who don't understand the equations themselves, a user can simply tell ChatGPT the numbers on their property and ask it to compute the ROI, the internal rate of return, the IRR, or any return measurement. And if the user has additional questions about it, ChatGPT can answer them as well. I have people multiple times a year come out to my private convention center to learn real estate investing from me. And one of the things I do is I teach them how to calculate returns. And at first it seems like this impossible, daunting task. And then I break it down and I teach it to them, and all of a sudden they feel comfortable with numbers. They get it, even if they're not a math person. And it literally makes the difference on whether they do or don't become a real estate investor. Now they have the ability to go out and look at a deal and say, this is a good deal or this isn't, but they have to learn something to get there. AI removes that learning and just helps you know what the answer is, so you know whether to put an offer in or not. Now, if that's not one of the most practical uses, I don't know what is. The fourth service that I'm going to talk about today for how do you use AI to successfully invest in real estate is about automated services. Check it out. Once you have tenants in place, ChatGPT can provide automated services to tenants and landlords and help overcome translation barriers between them. It can even help to draft legal contracts and respond to legal queries. So imagine that you need a contract, but you don't feel like paying a lawyer, or you're just wishing there was an easier template or draft. You can have all the back and forth languaging that you need to basically put documents together, or maybe you want to be the landlord. I don't believe in that. I hire property managers to do that because I'm doing thousands of deals. But let's just say that you're starting out and you're doing your first deal, your handful, you're going to be the landlord, and you want to know in your state what a good contract would be, or you need to specify something specific that you and the tenant did and you just don't know how to do it. Well, guess what? ChatGPT has the ability to do that. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't have a lawyer look at that or review that or check that, but what I am telling you is that that level of ability exists. Imagine how many real estate investors that want to get into the game don't, because they're afraid of the legal side of it, the ramifications or paperwork, or whether they can even get it produced in the first place. It's like having a private, very smart real estate paralegal assistant that is helping you every step of the way by putting your documents together. Imagine for a moment having a family member or a friend that decides to go in with you on an investment property. And let's say that you're the one doing the legwork and you're the one buying the property, and now you've bought it and you got a great deal on it and you've got a tenant in it. And you're thinking to yourself, wow, that worked out so great with that friend or family member. I'd like to do another deal with them. But I'm going to tell you something that every partner wants. They want an investment update report. They want to know how their money with you in this partnership is performing. And I'm going to tell you, for me, I have hundreds of partners all over the world that have worked hard to put their money into 401ks and IRAs that as they start approaching retirement or even earlier, they start realizing this doesn't work. But they've been watching me on my real estate channel. They're like, I want to partner with Kris. And so they are able to put up the money and I do all of the work. And all of a sudden, we're now growing the money over 170 times faster than in retirement over a 20-year period of time. It makes the difference of hundreds of thousands to literally many, many millions of dollars. Literally, I help people become wealthy and rich. And so to each one of them, I need to report back on how we're doing. Well, here's another function of ChatGPT. If you involve investors in your real estate business, ChatGPT can help you generate automated reports on property performance and market conditions. While it has limited knowledge on data past 2021, you can input your own data sets for it to analyze, or even have it code a program to web scrape data and analyze it for you. In other words, it's so smart, it's so intelligent that now with greater ease, I can tell my partners, hey, this is what happened last year. This is what we're forecasting might happen in the coming year. Here's what's happened in our specific market. Here's the economic changes. Here's how it's growing. This is what's good. This is what's bad. Here's what's happened to the percentage of rent increases. Here's how much we increased our rent by. The property's appreciated X amount. And all of a sudden, guess what that investor is thinking? Thank you for all of the very useful, detailed, customized information pertaining to the market and my property. And this is working out great. And I see the performance, you've communicated the performance, and now I want more performance. Like, let's do more deals. Again, just another incredible use of ChatGPT. This is just the beginning of all of the different uses with artificial intelligence. In fact, you can comment on this video and share other ideas or thoughts on, hey, Kris, make a video about this, or show me how I would use AI to do that. And you're going to see a lot more of this coming forth, because this means that you can get in the game far easier than you ever thought before. Whenever you think, well, what if I don't have the money? What if I don't have the credit? I promise you, artificial intelligence has a data bank of information, knowledge, and how-tos to start making that uber super possible. Which really means that what you now need is a winning strategy. And with $2 billion worth of results in my portfolio on real estate with other investors over the last 20 years, if you click the link below, I'm going to give you the perfect wealth roadmap. I wrote a book called Have It All, and it shares 5 investments that I believe in. It does give the how. And if you grab a free copy of that, which you can in the link below, and read it, it's going to teach you step by step how a person becomes wealthy. With technology supporting you this way, there's no reason why you shouldn't be. We enjoy privilege and freedom here in America, at least, and there are many freedoms and democracies around the world that empower you to make your own choices. And there's no reason to be poor if you have the means to watch this video, to stand up and create a better world for yourself. I know that you can do that. I believe you can do that. And if you don't know how, click the link below, get the book, but also just get in touch with my team, ask for a free game plan, take initiative, because that's what AI is going to require. And since it's here and since it's new, you're either going to be left in the dust and the gap between the wealthy and the poor is going to widen, because at the end of the day, some are going to take action and others are not. I'm inviting you to take action. Get the book, get the roadmap, and then start using me and artificial intelligence to augment whatever's necessary to help you financially take care of you, your family, and generations to come. You just completed my first video I've ever made about artificial intelligence and how I'm using it. And the internet thinks that the video that you're going to love next from me that can help you increase your financial genius is this one right here. Click this video, watch it, and let me show you how to continue crushing it financially in your life.